Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
He was killed 20 years ago in Schertz. Police haven't yet found his killer, and the man's family still fears for their safety. What that family is asking for now. But first.
There's always one less plate that I make at dinner. There's always one less child that I wake up for school, one less kid I do homework with. Just one less laughter. And even the little things that were irritating just from being a parent and having kids, like the noise. I used to say, yeah, calm down, there's so many of you. And now when it's quiet, it's just, I would give anything to have that noise back. I mean, anything.
1 year ago, this was the last night before everything changed, before a gunman walked into Robb Elementary School and killed these 19 children and 2 teachers.
Now, people across the country are honoring the victims of Uvalde and also paying their respects. That's also happening in San Antonio.
The Night Team's John Paul Barajas at the corner of Nueva and South St. Mary's. John Paul, that is where artists are using chalk and a sidewalk to pay their respects tonight.
A lot of work has already been put onto the sidewalk here. You can see the words at the top, remember Uvalde, with the heart in the middle. Right beneath that, we have 21 stick figures for the 21 victims all along the rainbow. As we approach the 1 year mark of the Robb Elementary shooting, it's just a reminder of the pain that the victims' families have had to carry for the entire year. Now artists are trying to give San Antonio a place to come pay the respects of the victims of that very dark day with a very colorful memorial. But the work here is still a work in progress, and the plan is to keep it that way throughout the day tomorrow. Traveling artist Lakey360 tells us he hopes the work they currently have will bring others not only to stop by, but also to create and express themselves. His main goal, giving people a place to gather, connect, grieve, and process however they wish.
Whenever people stand in this spot, whenever people try to appreciate the beauty, there is a reminder that this is remembering something that isn't so beautiful and that tore a community apart.
And tomorrow the artists will be back out here in the early afternoon, and they ask anybody who wants to come out and express themselves by putting down some words or just drawing something to do so. They will have chalk available. They want everybody to be respectful, of course. They will allow people to go up and down the sidewalks on both sides here. They do ask that if you're going to be on the chalk, to pick up your feet, not drag your feet. This is not a permanent memorial here, and they always ask everyone to please be respectful as everybody remembers that tragic day. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
People remembering in many different ways. Thank you, John Paul. Several events will be held in Uvalde to honor the victims and the survivors as well. It includes a 10 a.m. Mass at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, followed by a butterfly release at St. Philip's Episcopal Church at 11:32 in the morning in Uvalde, the same time the shooting started at Robb Elementary. 77 minutes later, the church will host a bell ringing at 12:49 p.m., marking the time that law enforcement entered those 2 classrooms. Vigils will also be held at 5:30 at the Uvalde County Fairplex and 7:30 at the Uvalde Memorial Park Amphitheater. The public is welcome. And the ripple effects of the Robb Elementary tragedy last year continue to be felt well outside of Uvalde. The shooting highlighted the importance of having blood on hand to save lives.
That's right. That inspired superintendents across Bexar County to roll up their sleeves today, all dressed in maroon, Uvalde CISD's colors. 12 of them packed the donor pavilion at the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, including Dr. Jeanette Ball of Southwest ISD. You see, she spent time as a superintendent at Uvalde CISD.
Clearly remember where I was the day that this happened and thinking that cannot be true.
Roughly 60 lives will be impacted thanks to everyone who donated today. Signing up to donate simple. We've added a link to register right now at KSAT.com.
She was very unselfish. She did everything for everybody else. She put everybody else in front of her, Like she said, she didn't hesitate to protect or hesitate to do anything to help somebody else.
And that was the husband of Eva Mireles, one of the 2 teachers who were killed at Robb Elementary. He and his daughter have found a way to combine Eva's passion of family and fitness into a unique memorial. Ruben and Addie Ruiz took us inside the Eva Strong gym that they built in the backyard of their home to honor the beloved wife, mother, and teacher. As you can see, the gym has pictures, memories, and tributes to Eva's life. She died a hero, protecting her students on that day. Along with the Eva Strong gym, Ruben and Addie tell us that they plan to host another Eva Strong Memorial 5K with funds going to scholarships so that Eva can continue to change the lives of children. Hundreds of people attended this year's event in March on the weekend of her birthday.
Our coverage from Uvalde continues ahead of the one-year mark of the Robb Elementary shooting. We have crews in Uvalde for GMSA, and tomorrow night at 9 p.m. we'll be hearing from families of the victims and so many others about their loss and recovery during our one-hour special, 1 Year in Uvalde. Now, if you scan this QR code on your screen, it will take you to our website right now, KSAT.com, where there's an extensive interactive tribute to the victims and their families and all that has gone on during the last year. It really is a special thing that's on our website right now. Those stories available right now on KSAT.com. Home movies that were shared with us there.
Yeah, it's just incredible what we have there. And there's so much that you'll learn just by going to that website. Now, in other news now, our state's top cop wants House Speaker Dade Phelan to step down. Hours ago, Texas Attorney General tweeted, quote, after much consideration, it is with profound disappointment that I call on Speaker Dade Phelan to resign at the end of this legislation session.
Now, send an amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. Is there objection to the opposite amendment?
Okay, so that's what that stems from. That's a video clip that went viral. It showed House Speaker Phelan on the House floor Friday night. You heard him there slurring his words. Now, Ken Paxton, the AG, is accusing Phelan of being, quote, intoxicated. So here's the question now. What's Phelan saying? Well, we emailed the Speaker's office today. His communications director, Kate M. Whitman, said nothing about Phelan stepping down, instead turning it back on Paxton. Her statement read in part, quote, the motives for and timing behind Paxton's statement today couldn't be more evident. Now, back in February, Paxton settled a $3+ million lawsuit with former aides who accused him of corruption. Now, in order for those former aides to get that money, which, by the way, comes from public funds, your taxpayer money, first the House needs to approve it. And tomorrow, Phelan is going to hold a hearing with the House committee that's investigating that lawsuit. Now, Attorney General Paxton also filed a lawsuit today against the Biden administration, challenging a rule that encourages migrants to use a mobile app to schedule unlawful crossing into the U.S. Paxton's office says that the CBP One app is being used to avoid federal law, and the Biden administration is therefore encouraging undocumented immigrants to come to the United States even if they don't qualify to stay in the country. Now, this comes just weeks after the expiration of Title 42, a Trump-era policy that allowed migrants to be expelled without a chance to ask for asylum. You can read more about the lawsuit right now on KSAT.com.
The Department of Homeland Security expanding the use of body-worn cameras again among its agents. Its agencies. Its new body-worn camera policy announced today applies to 9 law enforcement agencies in all. That includes Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the U.S. Secret Service. Several of those agencies already have body-worn cameras, including U.S. Customs and Border Protection. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the policy is aimed at gaining the public's trust. Time ticking on Capitol Hill as a deal has yet to be reached to lift the country's debt ceiling. Negotiators for the White House and Speaker Kevin McCarthy worked today to hammer out a deal, but nothing has been announced yet. McCarthy insisting there will be no deal without caps on spending. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen repeatedly warning failure to lift the debt ceiling would cause a default that could lead to a recession in the U.S. and millions losing their jobs and benefits. The ongoing uncertainty weighing on investors and the stock market.
We're playing Russian roulette with the United States credit.
All of the gains that we have made to get the economy back on its feet, we can see that go away.
The deadline to make a deal, June 1st.
Now, it's been 20 years, still no arrests in the murder of a Guadalupe County businessman. His name was Samuel Phonesteal. Now, that man's family still tonight looking for answers.
Schertz police don't have many leads, only the sketch of a suspect. The 19's Patty Santos spoke to the victim's family, and they say they are still afraid for their safety.
Who did it or why, and would they come after us? That's the fear the family of Samuel Fonstein has lived with for 20 years since his murder.
After 20 years, I was hoping somebody would come across, but I still have that hope, so that somebody will come through for us and we'll know more.
His family is asking Church police investigators and the community to step up their efforts to solve the case. The rodeo businessman and real estate investor was shot at his business on I-10 East near Greytown Road on May 22, 2003. Fonsteel's family says they got very few details, but witnesses told his sister someone had been looking for him throughout the day.
When he was finally back, they did show up again.
A witness provided this sketch of a person seen leaving the scene. The Fonstein family hopes new technology and maybe even DNA can lead to clues.
He deserves to be at peace. We all need to have that. We need to have some closure, and whoever did this, they need to answer for it.
His family describes him as kind-hearted and generous. If you have any information that could help police gather more clues, you can call Schertz Police Sergeant Trevino at 210-619-1200.
Well, we're looking at some storms to the north of us right now, moving through San Angelo, Abilene. This is that cluster of storms that we were expecting to form. And overnight, as this storm has lost its fuel or the daytime heating, it is going to continue to move southeast. It's going to be interesting to see if these storms can hold on until they could make it to San Antonio. Right now, I do think it's at least a possibility. And so between about 4 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll have at least a chance for those storms. It'll be leftovers, so pretty much weakening storms as they move through, but it could impact your morning commute. So that's what we'll be watching early tomorrow morning, watching those storms north carefully. In the week, for the rest of the week ahead, humid and warm. It'll feel like it's in the 90s, even if the thermometer doesn't actually read the 90s. And then a preview of Memorial Day weekend for you. It does look like we'll see maybe an isolated shower or storm here, but all in all, a pretty nice way to unofficially start summer. So details on this and a timeline on when those storms could make it to San Antonio coming up. Stephanie.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Meantime, cleanup underway tonight in the Houston area after a house collapses and kills 2 people. You'll take a look at the aftermath. Also, potential bad news for Netflix users, what the streaming giant is now saying about customers who share passwords. That's after the break. Netflix starting to crack down on users in separate households who share passwords. In a letter to subscribers, the streaming service offers 2 alternatives. They can transfer a profile to a new member and pay for that person, or add an extra member for about $8 extra a month. Now, Netflix says that it's allowed password sharing in the past to fuel growth, and that led to some 100 million households doing so. And now it wants to focus on revenue as opposed to its subscriber base.
2 people are dead after a house under construction collapsed. It all happened in Conroe, just north of Houston. In addition to the 2 who were killed, several others hurt in the collapse. And right now, it's not clear what exactly caused the house to cave in, but severe storms that hit that area today may have played a factor.
And the force of those storms was certainly felt in Huntsville, about 30 miles north of Conroe. You could see the power of that gusty wind there in that video. Cleanup's already started there tonight. Multiple trees. You could see that one there. Wow, blown over onto a building. It looks like an apartment complex. Also, cars that were parked at that apartment complex got trees that fell on them as well. But amazingly, nobody was hurt. And we're taking a live look here. 80 degrees right now. And here's the thing that we're watching for, just some storms that could pop up in a few hours.
Yeah, it's highly conditional forecast. What I mean by that is the condition that needs to be met is for storms to the north of us to hold on. And they got to hold on through the long night. You know, those storms, once they lose their daytime heating, the sun, it becomes difficult for them to maintain themselves. But there is that window in the morning. First, let's recap today for you. We got up to 89 degrees, a degree shy of a degree above the average, rather 10 degrees shy of the record. But here's those storms that I was mentioning earlier up near Abilene and San Angelo. You can see that these storms are severe. They're producing some hail, But in the overnight hours, these are going to lose their severity. They're going to weaken quite a bit. You can see how electrified these storms are through Abilene, through San Angelo, and they are slow movers. We're talking the whole system is moving to the southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do is, here's San Antonio. I'm going to show you an ETA. If these can hold on, they would make it to the hill country by about 4 o'clock in the morning. There, you can see that. All right, if they were to hold on all the way to San Antonio, these storms would make it to the Alamo City close to about 7 o'clock in the morning. So for the early morning commute. But that is a big if. These storms could fizzle out entirely before they make it to San Antonio. However, any kind of rain during a morning commute is not good. So I wanted to put that on your radar, that it is possible for those storms to make it. And the futurecast does line up with that, although it does show that the best chance for storms is along and east of 281. This is a snapshot at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can see how a few areas in the hill country might be seeing those storms. And then east of 281, that's where the better chance is. And again, this is just the best estimate for those storms if they can hold on. This blob could be a little bit more to the west. It could be a little bit more to the east. Moral of the story, if you have an early morning commute, check the KSAT Weather Authority app. There's going to be a radar on there. You'll be able to see before you head out the door if there are storms on the radar. As for the day, though, tomorrow after that brief opportunity for storms, it's going to be a sunny and warm day with a high near 90. And then again, tomorrow night, storms up near the Panhandle could make it to San Antonio by Thursday night. Or they could Thursday morning, or they could fizzle out entirely again. It's a highly conditional forecast that we're keeping our eyes on for you. So looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast tomorrow, 30% in the morning between about 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. But most folks are going to be hitting the road between 7 o'clock in the morning and 9. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies and a quiet day. It'll be warm and humid. High temperature right near 89 degrees. Southeast winds tomorrow at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at highs in your neighborhood. 88 Lake Hills, 90 Lackland, 90 Stone Oak, 89 in Converse, 90 in Elmendorf, and 88 in Seguin. It is going to be humid though, so that 89 is going to feel more like 94 around San Antonio. It's generally going to feel like it's anywhere from 90 to 95 to Port Laredo feeling like 100 degrees tomorrow. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast for you. Again, a few early showers are possible tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. It'll be quiet to start Memorial Day weekend. Saturday and Sunday look humid and warm. I did have to put a chance for some storms, at least on Monday. Right now, coverage only looks 20 to 30%, but we'll be able to refine it. Still about a few days off from that. So just keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy as you make your Memorial Day weekend plans.
And that's the big takeaway, and you should download it before you head out to work tomorrow morning.
It's got a radar on there.
Thank you.
All right, so there are two number one picks in Texans camp, but you got to think the guy from Ohio State has the edge, right?
Yeah, C.J. Stroud. I mean, there's some that are saying, oh, let him, get some experience and watch Davis Mills in games. That's probably not going to happen. C.J. Stroud is probably going to get the start. He is currently battling at OTAs with Davis Mills, and in high school softball, the Canyon Cougars are looking to stay perfect. Coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm competing for that starting job. I mean, since I've been drafted in the NFL, I've been in a competition. I don't think anything's going to change, but I mean, it's been great getting to know CJ so far. He's an extremely hard worker, and it'll be good to see how we go out there and compete every day and make each other better.
Texans QB Davis Mills enjoys competing with C.J. Stroud in Big Board Sports.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Houston Texans are holding OTAs as the battle for QB1 begins between rookie and overall number 2 draft pick C.J. Stroud and third-year quarterback Davis Mills, who started 15 games for the Texans last season. Many feel that Stroud will get the job because he was drafted so high. Now, the Texans didn't make Stroud available during rookie minicamp, but today we did get to speak with him, and he was asked about learning from Davis and veteran Case Keenum.
It's a blessing. It's been something that I definitely knew that I knew that I needed it. Just that guidance and that confidence that they've had, because they've both played in the league, been starters. So they've been very helpful, have been very appreciative and very supportive of everything. We have constant communication on and off the field. So I mean, it's been really great.
Houston will continue OTAs tomorrow at the Methodist Training Center. Check out Vikings edge rusher Marcus Davenport wearing the number 0 during OTAs. He's the first Viking ever to wear that number. After 4 years with the Saints, he signed a 1-year deal with Skull. NFL teams are not allowed to tackle during OTAs, but still the Vikings are really getting after it because iron sharpens iron, and Marcus is all for it.
Oh yeah, you know, it's just, you know, always at one point you want to take care of your teammates. And so as much as, you know, we're trying to sharpen each other, you know, we're trying to take care of each other, and that's kind of been a culture around here where, you know, I feel like, you know, we're really trying to take care of each other.
The NFL recently approved the wearing of the number 0 for players, so Marcus grabbed it up. The New Braunfels Canyon softball team is getting ready for the 5th round of the UIL Class 5A playoffs, where they will face the Smithson Valley Rangers, with the winner advancing to state. This is going to be a great series. Set for the best of 3. The Cougars are 30-0 and beat Flower Bluff 8-1 in the 5A regional semifinals. Canyon went to state in 2018 and 19 and advanced to the 3rd round the last 2 years. Now they have to get through the Rangers to make state.
They're a great team, I will give them that. They're definitely one of our hardest teams that we've faced, I think, all throughout our preseason playoffs and just regular district. They have just as much drive and just as much hard work as us, and it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, we faced them a couple times, but I just think we need to go into this game thinking it's a new game, new team, and we just need to play our game, and I think we'll be fine.
You know, I think it's exciting for everyone, especially this week. It's going to be a special situation with us in Smithson Valley. 2 traditional programs that have had a lot of success, and I think there's a lot of respect back and forth between the 2 teams, and I think it's going to be good for the whole community to see this matchup.
The 5A regional finals between New Braunfels Canyon and Smithson Valley will get underway Friday at 7 p.m. The best of 3 series will go down at St. Mary's University. In Major League Baseball, the Rangers beat the Pirates 6-1 today. Josh Young hit his 11th homer of the season for Texas, going 2 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. And the Brewers shut out the Astros 6-0. In Texas League action tonight, the Missions roughed up the Sod Poodles at the Wolf by a final of 14-4. Burgers, golf, and money after the break. Take you to Big's Burger Joint UTSA, where Champions for Charity, a fundraising program tied to the Valero Texas Open, held a luncheon to celebrate the $14.876 million raised from the annual Champions for Charity fundraiser.
And this is the grand finale of a 6-month charitable fundraising campaign that revolves around the Valero Texas Open each year. And so today we're so proud to be able to host all of our charity partners that we support through this initiative. And today we have the extreme pleasure of being able to distribute the funds that were raised this year through the program. And so this afternoon we're going to be distributing $14 million, which is an all-time record for our Champions for Charity program. Last year we set a record by raising $10 million, just over $10 million through this program. So to be able to exceed last year's record and achieve more than $14 million this year really is a pretty special thing, and we're just so proud of our community here in San Antonio.
And that money supports 151 local charities. In the NBA Eastern Conference Finals tonight, Boston won at Miami 116-99 to avoid a sweep. Game 5 is Thursday night in Boston.
They stay alive.
They sure do.
All right, thanks, Larry.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this.
Before we go tonight, I want to let you know tomorrow is Locals Day at the San Antonio Zoo. So if you live in Bexar County, you can get in for just $8.
Nice deal. Now you just need to show your proof of residency when you buy your ticket. You can learn more about Locals Day right now on KSAT.com.
And there's only a small window for storms in the morning, so fine to go to the zoo tomorrow. 89 for the high, mostly sunny. Most of the week today, this week is going to be quiet, warm, and humid.
And download our weather app. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.